Hi, my name's Tegan Carter, and I'm going to be the group leader on the England and Scotland trip that we're taking over spring break in 2019. So Sabina has expressed some interest in this trip to me, and I thought I would reach out to you two, her parents, and talk to you about this trip, kind of give you an explanation of what Sabina can expect on this trip, and then that will give you hopefully all the information that you need in making your decision, and it'll give you a chance to think about questions that you have and stuff too that you're welcome to ask me about anytime before you guys decide if she's going to take this trip or not. So let me talk to you a little bit about why travel is important. I can tell that it's important for your family. Sabina's kind of talked about that a little bit. And so you probably have your own reasons on why you think travel is important for someone like Sabina. Personally, I think it's so important to get to explore the world, just to see other cultures, to get to see history come alive in this case. So Sabina will get to see a lot of the stuff that she knows about England and Scotland's history. We'll get to experience Shakespeare. We'll get to see a live play. We'll get to see so many amazing things. One of the wonderful things that I love about travel too is that it really gives you a sense of self-confidence too. You've traveled the world, you've seen other things, you've met other people, and this will be something that's really important for Sabina as she decides to continue on to college, and this experience will help her with college applications. It will set her apart from other students that are applying, and same thing with scholarships. And aside from just the amazing experience itself, I really think that bringing that self-confidence and bringing these outside experiences of things that she's seen on her travels will really kind of give her an edge as she's deciding what she wants to do with the rest of her future after her senior year. Can't believe it. I don't know if you two are familiar with EF. EF stands for Education First, and this is the program that I go through. This is the travel partner that I use. Some of the wonderful things about EF are that they have over 50 years of experience in doing this. I have a really good friend who works at Boise High School. He's been doing EF tours for years and years and years, has built a huge program there, and he's talked to me explicitly about how much he trusts EF, how they take care of everything for you on this trip. And if something were to happen to a student or something. His example was that a student broke his arm one time on one of his trips. And he said that EF was there immediately. They took the student to the hospital. The student was back on the tour within 2 hours. And they really do everything that they can. Their number one concern is safety. And that's really important to me, especially as we travel overseas. And so they have many, many different outlets, I guess you could say, with their experience. And so they have this global presence wherever we go. And so they have offices all over the globe. Like I said, their number one concern is safety. And so they're always wanting to make sure that they're there for you. They have local tour guides on this as well. So the tour guides are familiar with where we're going. They're familiar with the customs. They're familiar with everything that's going on this trip. They're very experienced as well. So I really feel that EF is the most reputable partner that I could find. And again, they have amazing trips. I have so many students that have talked about amazing trips that they've gone on with EF. And again, the most important thing for me is safety. And I really feel secure in saying that EF always will have the student's safety and best interests in mind. And so there's support teams that are available. Like I said, there are contact offices everywhere. There's local tour guides. So we'll never feel like we're kind of stranded and left alone without any help. Like I said before, they have over 50 years of experience, so they have local tour guides. In our case, everywhere that we're going, they speak English, so bilingual won't be too much of an issue, but they are local tour guides. There'll be chaperones on it as well. They have 24-hour on-call service in the U.S., so if you're concerned about Sabina, if you need to get a hold of her for something, for some reason on your end, you can. And they just really do whatever they can to go above and beyond and make sure that all the kids are safe. One of the other things I really like about EF is that they do have this peace of mind policy right here. And so that means that if something were to happen, you know, a major weather issue happens in England or Scotland, or some major thing were to happen and we're like, we don't want to go right now, like it's not safe. They have this peace of mind policy where they will reschedule it. They will find another time and we will still get to go on this trip. It just might be in the summer, or it might be, you know, a week later or something like that. So since we're going on spring break, I suppose that wouldn't work, but it would be then most likely over the summertime that we would go. But they will make sure that we get to go on the trip if something, you know, kind of crazy were to happen, which I'm sure it won't. So they have a global travel protection plan. I know this is kind of getting cut off here on the side. So essentially, this is something that I do require everyone to pay for in their, it's an option, like it's optional to pay for it, but I do encourage everyone to pay for it because I think it's really important. So if you pay for this global travel protection plan, then you have protection if you have to cancel due to a family or medical emergency. Then you don't get any sort of penalty for canceling. You have this protection if there's a tour interruption due to flight delays. So it covers costs of flight delays and rescheduling new flights. Lost or damaged baggage, to me, that's the big thing too, is what happens if your baggage gets lost or something like that or damaged? Well, this protection plan covers that. Flight delay costs as well. Illness or injury, personal property or theft, those sorts of things that could possibly happen on tour. Again, we don't expect that they will, but you want to plan for something. You're investing a lot of money and energy into this amazing experience, and you want to make sure that it's all covered and that everything's taken care of. So this global protection plan you'll see in the overall cost that I'll show you in just a couple of minutes. I'm going to skip past that. Okay, so here's our travel window. And so what they do is they have a block of time to try and give us the lowest price possible. They have a block of time. So I'm sorry that this little screen here that I'm recording isn't showing my whole PowerPoint slide. This part down here, this travel window part, is getting kind of cut off, but essentially I explain it right here. So these are the requested departure dates, is that we leave Saturday, March 16th, and we come back Sunday, March 24th. So that covers spring break, and Sabina wouldn't miss any school. However, it could be a day here or a day there. They're just looking at who else is taking this trip across the country in the United States, what other schools are taking this trip, and can we lump everyone together so that we can have the cheapest rates possible. And so we have to give ourselves a little bit of flexibility. Mrs. Winters, the principal, is in support of travel, and so I think we could talk to her about a possibility of absences if it comes down to that, you know, getting close to graduation, if number of absences is an issue overall for Sabina, if she has to take a day off before spring break or a day off after. But that's something we can discuss as we get closer to. Okay, so here's the itinerary. Again, I have some amazing pictures here that won't be 100% shown because of the recording, but I did send Sabina home with this, if you can see this in my video recording. And so she should have this. If she doesn't, I have another one for her, but this goes over the itinerary. And so it's essentially a 9-day trip. It is incredible. We are going to fly into Edinburgh in Scotland. We'll spend a couple of days there touring amazing castles, looking at or taking a guided tour of Edinburgh itself. We'll have some free time to be able to explore the city. And then on day 4, we go to Yorkshire, and so we look at Clifford's Tower. Then we travel to Warwick, we travel to Stratford, and so we get to go to Stratford and see where William Shakespeare was born. We get to go to Anne Hathaway's cottage and see her gardens, which are world-renowned. So we get to do some amazing things in Stratford. Then we spend another day in Stratford. We go to Oxford, so we get to take a tour of Oxford, and then we go to London. So in London, we have a full schedule in London. We'll take a guided tour of Windsor Castle. We'll go to see Big Ben. We'll have a theater performance too. I'm so excited about that. And then we'll take a trip to Stonehenge the next day. So here's Stonehenge. I figured that we cannot go to England and not go to Stonehenge. You just can't do it. So we're going to go to Stonehenge on day 8, and then on the 9th day we'll travel back home. So it is a full packed schedule. It gives a much more detailed explanation of these opportunities that Sabina will have in the places that we're going, if she wants to show you guys that. So that's just kind of a super brief overview of the amazing things that she'll get to do on this trip. Okay, so let's talk about what's included in this and what's not included in it. So let me move this over here. So round trip airfare is included. On tour transportation, we get nice buses, not school buses. We get the nice coach buses. We have safe, quality hotel rooms. So she'll be sharing a hotel room with some other young ladies, and they're 100% safe. We have a full-time bilingual tour director. The itinerary is educational, so there are tour guides to explain stuff to us and to give us the detailed history. We're not just wandering about. We have guided tours, like I said. If we look over here, breakfast is included, dinner is included, 24-hour on-tour assistance, there's a support team, there's a tour donation page, so when she signs up, she can have friends and family donate to her page, the global travel protection plan. So all of these things are included in the program price. What's not included in it is spending money. So she may want to have some money, some pocket change for souvenirs, for lunches. So we'll be out and about on lunches, so she can go wherever she wants for a lunch, nearby wherever we're visiting, snacks. So those won't be, that cost isn't included. And then there's a tip that I'm going to require all the students to pool into the tip for tour director, bus drivers, local guides, and that's around $10 per day. And we all just pitch in for that. Before the trip, actually, so I can give it to them there. Airport baggage fees, if there are any, and then of course getting your passport and that sort of thing as well. So here is the cost, and this is just a screenshot from the website itself. So the overall cost is $3,575. This is for 9 monthly payments. We might be off a little bit because I may have taken this picture last month, so we'll have to double check our math on that for that $387 per month. But this is a pretty amazing cost that we have for this trip, considering everything that it includes. And if you've done any traveling, I think that you'll find that, it's a large chunk of change altogether for sure. But for this kind of amazing trip that she's going to get to go on, I think it's reasonable. And I trust EF that they're doing everything that they can to make sure that they get us the lowest rate possible with the highest quality. So I may have also given Sabina this enrollment handbook. So she should have this. Again, if she doesn't, I'll give her another one. I'm happy to do that. And so you can go in here. There's our group number, our tour number. If you go to eftours.com. And so you can find us, you can find me, you can find the trip, and then you can get signed up. And so you can choose these different options as far as what you want to do for the payment plan. So again, here's the number. If you want to see that number right there, my spots available are down. Actually, this should be closer to 3. I need to update that. I've got 3 spots available. And so here's a tour number as well if you don't have it on this. And you can go to eftours.com again and find me. So I know that was really quick. I only have 15 minutes of screen recording time with this recorder, and I hope that I gave you a decent overview so that you can tell what this trip is, and so that you feel comfortable that if you send Sabina with me, she will be safe, she will have the best time of her life, and I really trust EF. I know that these tours are phenomenal, and I know she would have a lovely time, and she's such an incredible young lady. I would love to have her on the trip as well. So please let me know if you have any questions. My email's right here. This is my personal email, but you can also contact me through the school too. So tegan.carter@boiseschools.org. and I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. So hopefully we'll see Sabina on the trip, and please let me know if I can help you out in any way. Thank you so much.